doing? I hope you're doing well. Tonight is a lovely night, and I was getting this immaculate vibe, and I thought to myself, let's make our first video. Let's step away from procrastinating for once and just get down to it. So I did, and here we are. You thinking, what is this? What is she doing? What am I doing here? And me, drowning in my ongoing existential crisis, trying to start my lifelong dream of making content. And yes, by making content, I do mean projecting my unsolicited thoughts into the internet. So, there I was, right? Deciding to finally stop talking to myself in the mirror, in the shower, and saying stuff like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and actually start doing it. But there's a main issue. There was a main issue. You see, every content creator, whether they're an Instagrammer, YouTuber, blogger, etc., they started off with something, a specific subject, something I like to call the basis. So I had to figure out what my basis was going to be. Okay, so here are the common stuff. The first one is gaming. I know absolutely nothing about gaming whatsoever. Okay, so the other popular basis is like makeup/beauty, and in all honesty, I don't think I fit the requirements to do the second part. Ouch, indeed, I have taken my self-deprecation to a whole new world, but we're gonna move on from that. Okay, so the next thing was clothing/fashion, and believe it or not, even though I'm wearing this for tonight, I'm kind of decent when it comes to styling, but here are my problems for it to be my basis. First of all, I don't have enough money to keep up with it. And now I know you're like, what about sustainable clothing and thrifting? The problem is thrifting is kind of close to being non-existent here. And then my other issue was that I live in the only country in the world with compulsory hijab. So I just wasn't comfortable enough for it to be my basis, but we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna sparkle a little bit of fashion into it, you know? How I like to style with all these limitations. Okay, so I had to dig deep. I needed to figure out what is it that I can do that has always kind of impressed people. So what I'm about to say is going to sound extremely cringy, and I'm gonna go get my cringe queen crown and I'll put it on, but bear with me on this. I really like learning. I genuinely get very thrilled when I'm learning something new, and it doesn't really matter if it's related to biology, math, sexology, politics. As long as I'm learning it, I'm fine with it. And I also like to discuss controversial topics. But the thing is that learning is actually a very broad spectrum, so I had to narrow it down. I needed to see what is it that I can do that I can stand out in. And people have always complimented me on my language learning abilities. You see, English is not my first language, it's not even my second language, it's actually my third language. And I live in a third world country, not even in the good parts of it. I actually live in a very small town of a very undeserved state of that third world country. And even though my teachers always insisted that I would take like French classes while I was taking English classes, but we never had enough money to do that, yet I learned to speak 4 languages by the time I was 19. And not to toot my own horn, but I've been somewhat good at teaching, so I decided that this was going to be my basis. Now, I am not a professional teacher with a degree, nor do I have an inflated ego to claim that I am one. But I don't think you need a degree to share what you know, to share your knowledge. And I stand with this motto that knowledge has to be shared. And I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've been teaching my classmates, family members, friends since I was like 9-10 years old. And I have gotten an encouraging feedback, as in I've seen progress in their work to think that maybe I do know a thing or two. And the criticism that I always get is that you are too young to teach grown-ups. On a serious point of view, I think that everyone is gifted at something. Everyone's got their own skill set. And when it comes to that, age doesn't really matter. Like, yes, I am relatively young, but I'm not too young to do this. And also, I know how to make learning not dull, because that's the last thing you need. If it's dull, then you're not gonna go all the way in, and that's just not how it should be. So this was like the justification and the process of me choosing that I want to make videos and what's it going to be about. And I hope that I'll be able to make educational and entertaining videos so you guys can engage with, and we will introduce a lot of movies, shows, topics, songs, articles, in all different genres, so we can spice this baby up. And I hope that this will progress into something meaningful. And thank you for listening to me and for clicking on this video. And if you want to support me and my work, you can always like it, you can share it with others, no pressure. You do you, but thank you and have a wonderful night. Peace out.